Hi GTA fans, new leaks just dropped for GTA 6 and here's what we've got today. First up, heists are getting an upgrade. You'll be able to interact with security cameras, allowing for more strategic planning. Imagine robbing banks, storefronts, or even casinos in free roam. Next, Bitcoin in GTA 6? Leaks suggest you might have an in-game Bitcoin wallet. Could this be how mainstream learns to use the Bitcoin network? And villains expect some serious adversaries. Think characters like Gus Fring from Breaking Bad, adding depth and tension to the story. Stay tuned for more updates. Subscribe if you want me to give away multiple GTA 6 copies on the release date. Thank you and let's go! And here we are starting off with, anyone else happier that a game is being released in the fall of 2025 as opposed to early 2025? I know we are all patiently waiting for the release, but honestly the longer it takes to release the more satisfied I am. It just tells me they're leaving no stone unturned with this game and won't release it until they know they've put every last drop of perfection they can into the game. Every scene in Trailer 1 showed us the incredible amount of detail they put into the game, and I'm sure they are only building on that as we get closer to release in fall 2025. 100% agree with you, I was already expecting fall anyway. What you say on quality is right, it requires time. Plus fall is pretty neutral time in Europe, no major fast events like in summer, winter or spring, so it will add a particular flavor for this time of the year. I hoped for an early 2025 announcement just to make sure it wouldn't delay into 2026. If they said early 2025 and then delay it into the fall 2025, I would be happy. Now they said fall 2025 and I'm praying really hard now it won't be delayed GTA 6 releasing in 2026. Would anger the hell out of a lot of people. I seriously doubt there's going to be a delay. There was a 5-year gap between GTA 4 and 5. There's going to be a 12-year gap between 5 and 6. They've probably been working full-time on the game since 2017 or 2018. As COVID obviously threw a wrench in their development, but they've had too much time to allow a delay to get in the way. I think fall 2025 will stay fall 2025. Next up, really excited about rural areas. I know Vice City will be great and it's probably where we will spend most of the time once we have played the game for some time. But man, I can't wait to get in the game not knowing the map so I can go right into the rural areas with a good old Sanchez or any kind of regular car such as a Picador and a shitty rusty Bobcat, that kind of vehicle. I want to drive slow, check in the scenery, I want to find small towns on the way to nowhere, as I want to see a small food place in the middle of random road and I want to be able to stop for a burger for roleplay purposes. I really hope the game starts far away from Vice City and it's not until some missions we don't get to the city. Similar to the first time we controlled Trevor and 5, but this time being that moment, the beginning and not half into the game. I just hope I'm able to let myself discover the map or organically, as I kind of fucked up on Red Dead 2 and went to Saint Denis way too early when it would have been way cooler to just go with the flow of the story. Next up, who else is hyped for all the attention to details videos that are gonna get made from this game? Red Dead Redemption 2 did a great job with the details and it really did get milked with those videos. What kind of things are y'all expecting? I'm expecting things I won't expect, if that makes sense, and a lot of details in Red Dead I never thought would be included. Here's hoping Rockstar can blow our minds again in 2025. I don't think starting over in GTA 6 online is a bad thing. To be honest, and hear me out, the days I was having the most fun with GTA 5 online was when I had to rob convenience stores to afford to house a beat up and quite frankly stolen Toyota. Incrementally building that up to proper street racer, buying an apartment and slowly but surely building an enterprise. I longed for doing the same thing in Vice City, as someday I own a Ferrari F40 or a Lambo Countach, but before that, the Starlet. Next up, we go for performing your own heists. The leak showed us that security cameras can be interacted with. What type of places would you want to rob in free roam? Maybe banks can be robbed at any time and that out of type storefronts. What I'm hoping is that a casino could be robbed. Not too sure why this was downvoted. I fully expect players' choice to be a huge factor in big and small missions going forward. At the start of the GTA Online, all the missions were linear and required 4 players with a life system in place. In 2024, missions are optional and you choose what you want. I am fully expecting them to take this even further in 6, as I just don't know how or what they have planned. 100% there's one vid by YouTuber Naked Jakey where he talks about Rockstar missions design being outdated in a sense and that it's hyper linear. This has changed over the past few years as you see it in Red Dead Online 2. They are progressively implementing more and more choices of how you approach the game. Just look at Kaio, decisions galore even if there is a meta. GTA 6 will have a lot more choice liberty than before, I don't doubt it. Back during the 5 rollout, they were hyping up Heist as the next big feature, but they were pretty cagey about what they actually meant. A lot of us were hoping it would work this way, where you could plan and execute your own heist in the open world, and there was some real disappointment that we only got the hyper-scripted ones with a very little player choice, hoping they will go this direction for 6. GTA's online heists are a blast and were essentially DLC for the main story. People have hard enough time finding heist partners to coordinate with for the controlled scripted heists. I don't think very many people would have gotten to even engage with them if they were left completely open and required a lot of proactive work on the player's ends. Part of me wants a fully fledged heist system that 5 had, with progressible associates, different strategies, different setups, etc. And I use the term fully fledged loosely as it was pretty much scrapped IMO when they cancelled the single player DLCs. The other part of me feels like that kind of defeats the purpose of them being a big deal, don't get me wrong. I love the heists in the story and online of 5, but they have to reward you good money, which means they are likely going to be the best way or one of the best ways to earn it, and therefore farmed. I feel like in the past the heist missions were super memorable and a big deal, but 5 made them a bit more normalized. As I think the story of 5 led itself as they were experienced heist team, but I kind of hope the story in 6 has one big heist as a climax of the story or something like that. I would rather them add more heists in online, add depths to other systems, progressible associates and whatnot, to like a drug empire that you could have in a single player similar to online businesses currently, but make it less grindy for a single player, of course. If heists appear in a game, they should not be, oh, we're going to hit that storefront. Like, you should be able to do general B&Es and robberies, but a heist should be something special that takes a lot of work, a lot of monetary investment, and a lot of planning to pull off, especially if they don't lock them behind scripted missions like they did in online. Frankly, I think they should script heists, but that's just me. Next up, in a Take-Two Interactive's recent earnings call, a partnership with MrBeast was mentioned. Do you think that this partnership with MrBeast will be related to GTA 6 in any way? If not, what could the collab possibly be about? A Zynga mobile game or something? What do you guys think? MrBeast in GTA 6 confirmed. Third protagonist. MrBeast is the new Laszlo. Hell nah. Next, what do we have here? Places yet to be seen or discovered with future trailers or the launch of the game itself. What do you think about what is not seen both in the trailer and the leaks? It is going to appear in the game. For example, many speculate with NASA, which is Sarah, who imagined there may be in the north or in the places we saw and were not seen or not shown. Cuba, of course. Florida might be wrong, I don't know. I mean, Florida, yeah, Y City. It's not out of the question, to be honest. It's the most likely place to be included, in my own opinion. Honestly, I think the mapping guys have covered everything. In the north, we have no idea what there is, that's what I'm saying. What do you think there is that hasn't been seen or filtered yet? That's my question. What more? I think the trailer only showed images of leaked places, nothing new. Saying as Cuba isn't that interesting for a crime game. Generally speaking, crime rates are low in Cuba, and the government there does not take lightly to cartels or organized crime in general. The Bahamas is more likely because the country is very close to Miami area. Santo Domingo stands out as a city that we could see in a DLC that we could fly to, maybe Kingston as well. Imagine a Port-au-Prince DLC though, that would be insane. I'm curious to see more of Paul Gerhardt, especially since it's such a strange hodgepodge of cities. I'm also curious to see more of Vice City, Dale, metro area, how much this suburban sprawl is included here, how many hick towns will be included as well. The northern part of the map is anyone's guess. I'm skeptical we get to Orlando though. If we could store Bitcoin within GTA 6, given the setting of the game and the way the world has changed since Vice City and last visited, now imagine the world's most well-known and biggest game comes pre-packed with a Bitcoin wallet where you can simply send and receive Bitcoin into it, with a light way of making purchases in-game. Sounds cringe, but what if this would be the way mainstream learns how to use the Bitcoin network? I'm thinking too far out of the box, as this is basically what it is. So any store of game is highly unlikely to ever accept crypto. It's simply too volatile. Stores that once accepted it, like Steam, later dropped support for it for that reason. It's not a viable currency, never has been and likely never will be. It would be an extremely bad idea of Rockstar parts for, well, many reasons, lol. Overall, the NFT Web3 crypto craze had probably in the region of hundreds of millions of dollars poured into it, if not more, and widespread endorsement from major A-list celebs. TV shows around NFTs were created, various game publishers tried to implement them into their games, all of them failed, literally all of them. Crypto is the only one still standing to some degree, and it's propped up by a small handful of cryptocurrencies, namely Bitcoin, and BTC in its entire life has never shown the stability needed to be a usable and viable currency. Instead, it's been nothing more than a fancy stock. That ship has sailed pretty much. Let's talk about antagonists and villains. Having delved deeply into the lives of Lucia and Jason, I'm eager to explore the kind of antagonists or villains that captivate your imagination. Considering the trajectory of our main protagonist grows within the underworld, evolving from street robbers, I'm curious about the types of adversaries that intrigue you. As we anticipate witnessing our protagonist's journey akin to characters like Lucia and Jason, it would be fascinating to introduce a character just like Gustavo Fring. What kind of villain antagonist would you love to see in the game? It's funny you mention having a character similar to Gus Fring, because in real life Los Angeles in the mid of the late 2000s there was an underworld kingpin who operated sort of like Gus did. In my opinion, this is who Martin Madrazo should have been Heist off of. We would have been far more interesting, ruthless, cunning, and most intimidating than the Martin we got in 5, but I suppose in 6 we may get an antagonist like this. I know for sure I would like to see one based on Gus Fring, and I'm still betting hard that Ellie Rubio will return in a big way in 6, and it makes sense that Jason and Lucia would be the ones to kill him in the end. Maybe they'll retcon the Cayo Perico heist in 6's story in order to refresh El Rubio's character to re-establish him as a tough, menacing bad guy this time. Another antagonist I speculated on would be hard-boiled FIB-DEA agent going after the pair, doing everything by the book before deciding to play dirty to catch them. But my thing about that is, I would feel too similar to the Pinkertons in Red Dead Redemption 2. I always thought it would be better to have the dodged agent eventually ally themselves to Jason and Lucia, sort of like Agent Harris towards the end of the Sopranos, and how he helps Tony win the mob war against New York by giving him Phil's location, and it would give such a wonderful little twist to the story. So that's kind of all the information we got for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next one, and peace.